Live from virtual North Carolina, we welcome race fans one and all once again to the OMSRL Xfinity Series season, where we get set to go racing for race number 8 in season number 4. It is, of course, the Boom Confetti 200. Hello one and all, and welcome to Green Flag TV. My name is Lola Rempel, and I'll be bringing you all of the coverage here tonight from start to finish. And my goodness, what a way we are expecting this to go down here today, as it'll be, shall we say, an interesting race, with this being the longest race we're going to have so far across the entirety of the season. You've got, of course, your big names up here coming on over into today, the likes of Spencer Ray still making their return, as we'll be looking to try to get ourselves sorted with a good run here tonight for 134 laps and 200 miles. For now, though, it's all going to end up coming down to who can navigate that first stage. I think that first stage is going to be important over the course of the night. As it's been mentioned before, coming on over into this race, these guys will not be able to make it to the end of that first stage without having to pit. So these guys are going to have a lot of work ahead of them on the strategy game to see what they're going to be able to do for us here tonight. Looking on down to how the championship standings shake on out. I'll pull those notes up here in just a brief second here as we'll continue to roll through pre-race here tonight. Spencer Ray continues to enter this race with the race lead. 49 points clear of Grant Peterson, but for there it is still a tight points battle for that second position, with Peterson and Dingler separated by only 3 points of the Badger Racing teammates. It's another 14 back to the likes of Hunter Thrower, and then another 3 back to Clark Gannikin, the rookie, the highest rookie so far, to round out the top 5 of the point standings here tonight. Qualifying is very much underway currently from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, as we've got one by one drivers picking their way around the racetrack. Looking at the likes of Jacob Noyes, trying to see if he can put his car up on pole position. So far, though, the driver to beat up there is going to be the likes of Grant Peterson, a 30.493. Nathan Shiflett going to go up for that second position. Not a lot of cars here tonight. We've had 30 plus so far every race of the season, just over 20 here tonight. So we're seeing almost a 1/3 field decrease here. And now Spencer Ray going to be, we can take that Apex Action number 6 Supra around the racetrack. So we'll ride on board now with this number 6 car. We'll show you what a lap around the Charlotte Motor Speedway looks like. Only good enough for that second position up on the board so far for the likes of Spencer Ray. We look down to the likes of Michael Kenner, who is just starting his second, or is actually coming to the close of his second qualifying lap of the IK9 Toyota Supra, running across start finish line now. And Michael Kenner, a driver that has had some success here before, is going to be putting his car up for 7th place on the board. So Michael Kenner will be good enough for that 7th position. And we'll look back to the likes of Lucas Lyons, one of the last drivers to look to set a time out here tonight, as the number 94 car going to continue to gradually take things around for what should be a fun race here tonight. And he is currently running on that now first flying lap. And he'll come across the start-finish line this time by to put down his first qualifying effort on the afternoon. Now, got just over 30 seconds left, so this is going to be a tight call to see if Lucas Lyons can make it around and take a second lap here on this one. He's currently good enough for 14th fastest up on the timing charts, but a bit of improvement to do then for the number 94 machine, as he'll come around turns 3 and 4. This next time by, 15 seconds on the clock. Does he have what it takes to put himself further up on the boards? The driver out of Owensboro going to come off of turn 4 into the quad oval, and he will put that Chevrolet up to the 6th spot on the board. So Lucas Lyons going to go up to 6th, as we're going to get things unsorted now for your starting grid. We'll take a rundown of what everything's going to look like here as we get set to go racing for 134 laps here tonight from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And starting up on pole position, it is going to be the likes of Grant Peterson with Logan Hamilton beside him on that front row. Michael Kenner starts in third with Spencer Ray in fourth on row number 2. Row 3 holds Colby Wells and Lucas Lyons. Row 4 holds Ryan Diggler and Sean Kaiser with Nathan Schifflin and Barron Morton bringing up the top 10. Chicken Noise and Kyle Munson bring up row number 6 with Dave Gage and Nate Brody on row number 7. Row 8 going to be holding the likes here of Michael DeWalt and Todd Cray. With row 9 holding Robert Peterson, Anthony Mussati, Stefan Purcell, and Zachary Kreischer round out the top 10. Matt LaValle and Adam Schramm will be the last of the drivers to take things down to the starting grid here tonight. Bound to be a fun race for these guys here tonight. Again, longest race for these for the OMSRL Xfinity Series on their season number 4 here tonight for 200 miles, and it is going to be a rough fight for everybody out so far here today. We will see if we can't get a word in with some of the drivers that are going to be having a tough time out there to see what the pit strategy is going to be like, and we'll no better driver I think to talk to than pole sitter Grant Peterson. Now, Grant, this is Noel Rempel up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I do, sir.
Well, you start from the pole, about as good of a place as you could get this number 52 car started on off. Now, the big story today, obviously going to be the lack of fuel runs you'll be getting over here in this first stage. You'll have to make that pit stop before the end of the stage. Caution. How's that going to shake up the strategy, you reckon?
I think it really depends on what we'll get. If we get a caution early on, I think we'll come down and fill her on up. But I expect a caution. I mean, turn 4 is so tight. We got a lot of guys here. It's going to be close racing. I expect something to happen. If not, we'll run it out till she's burping down pit road.
For the majority of the drivers out here tonight, what do you think it'll be? Just a splash and go? Or do you think people will risk taking the tires on that first pit stop?
I think you got to go with the splash and go. I don't know if you have enough time, if it does go green all the way, to not take tires, or to take tires and get back up there in contention for it.
We'll see how the strategy plays out tonight. Thanks for the insight, Grant. We'll let you get back to work. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
It was Grant Peterson, driver of the Badger Racing number 52 car. He'll lead the field around through turn numbers 3 and 4 this time by. We are happy that you joined us here over on this amazing Tuesday night. We're going to set to go into the sunset at America's home for racing. Pace car going to come off of turn numbers 3 and 4. And it's time to get this party started. 200 miles, the distance, 134 laps. About to kick off at Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina, into the Geico Restart Zone. We're underway here tonight. Michael Kenner looking to make the move for second place early on as Grant Peterson hightailing away with the race lead coming around in turn numbers 3 and 4. We rip it, or 1 and 2. We rip it down the back straightaway for lap number 2 here tonight. Overall, really good way to kick off tonight's proceedings from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. All the big moves seem to be going on in the background here as Jacob Noy is going to go side by side with the TI Racing Chevrolet of Nate Brody to try to see if he can put that car a bit further up on the timing boards. Ryan Dingler trying to fend off Lucas Lyons. Lyons making the charge from the inside line. Well, the All-American Motorsports 24 going to move up to the top shelf to see if he can't get a run established up on the high side as well. So this is going to get interesting here really quickly as Lucas Lyons tucks in line. Kaiser's down from the low end. Barron Morton making the run around the outside. He's trying to pull around the 15 to Nathan Schifflin. Stage break coming on up at lap number 45. As we rocket it back down the back straightaway. Brody and Noyes tucked the line behind. A couple of drivers falling back. Most notably Zachary Kreis and Adam Schramm. They're falling back down the order in the background, running 21st and 22nd overall. Meanwhile, we'll keep tabs on the big groupings up in the front here. This is where all the action is at the moment up on the racetrack, as you've got guys like Shiflett, Kaiser, and Moore trying to make moves. Brody and Morton side by side down in the turn numbers 3 and 4. They'll come around off turn number 2 for lap number 5. So this is how things are going to be expected to shake on up throughout the course of the evening here, as Kaiser and, again, Lucas Lyons going side by side with Shiflett on the bottom. Lyons up on the top shelf as he tries to pull up and around the number 24 car. Up front, Grant Peterson starting to pull away in the Rush Trucking Center's number 52 Toyota Supra for Badger Racing. Your pull sitter pulling out about a 0.6 of a second gap over the rest of the field, while Lyons and Dingler are going to go side by side again down the run to turn number 3. Lyons pulling the outside line pretty well, but he's going to lose momentum here coming off of turn number 4, and that's where we're going to start to see these guys start to drop back, and you can tell at the moment really having to work the inside here of the number of that number 2 car. As you look back to Nathan Shiflett, he's going to lose a spot to Sean Kaiser up around the outside line. So overall, a lot of movers and shakers, particularly in the mid-pack here. This is what we can expect to see with a smaller field size here tonight, is everything kicking off in the midfield, while the top 5 continue to just stretch their legs up in front. On board with the number 24 car into turn numbers 3 and 4, as these guys again continue to gradually work their way around. Shiflett and Brody going to go head to head as we come off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, you see the field starting to again thunder by as things start to space out. Kaiser jumps down, cutting off the run of the number 1, and he's going to get into the 15, pushing Shiflett a bit further up the racetrack, so it got a little bit hairy here for Nathan Shiflett as he's going to power around the outside line, still trying to find an opening in that number 15 Supra, but overall, it's not looking the best for Nathan Shiflett. This time he'll look for the low end on Brody, but Brody going to get chopped off by Sean Kaiser. You see Bear Morton right in the background trying to establish a run as well, but so far just hasn't had a whole lot of luck so far for what we've been seeing to the early goings here, and I think this is as we can expect these to run, as Kaiser now looks to make a move up the inside right. Dingler's loose and chasing the car up the track to the outside wall. Here comes Brody. Kaiser going to get up on the low side and one sliding around, and Brody somehow wrestling the number 1 car back underneath him. What a save for Nate Brody as he had to chase that number 1 car down the hill. We are absolutely going to get a replay of that one before too long. What a save that Nate Brody had to work with in the TI Racing Asheville Rooftop Bar Tours number 1 Chevy. Hang on for this wild ride as it came around off of turn numbers 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Gets into there and look at him work that way left and right, almost full lock in both directions. Owen loses a handful of spots, a little bit of damage on the number 1 car on the right-hand side, but overall could have been a heck of a lot worse. You can see Dingler starting to struggle up here as he only gets up into the outside wall, allows Bear Morton to push through up into 9th. While behind, Dave Gage riding up the hill in the 404 Chevy. Almost connects to the outside wall, swings really wide though into the quad oval as he'll diamond it back down and run back into turn numbers 1 and 2. Grant Peterson's lost a good chunk of time. Back to second place runner Michael Kenner, and Kenner is going to come through and try to steal that race lead away. Wow, we got trouble behind. Dave Gage going for a spin, entering turn numbers 3 and 4. Musadi's going to get into him as well. I think the 19 gets into him as well of Kreischer. And that's going to put us now under. Oh, Kreischer's actually wrecked it fully coming around turn numbers 3 and 4. And we're put under our first caution flag of the night. I think this is what Peterson was referring to now. Now that we have that yellow flag, these guys will now get completely focused on just trying to maintain momentum here. And we'll see what the strategy is going to be like down on pit road. This is what happened on the back straightaway. Dingler got all sorts of out of shape, got up into the wall, bounced down into Dave Gage. Gage slammed the outside wall, got down to the Robert Peterson. Musadi connects it away as well. And Zach Kreischer's going to come in here and I think, yeah, just tried to get it rolling and just ended up firing himself up into the outside wall. Here we go. Grant Peterson comes down. Michael Kenner making a bold call to stay out. So Kenner going to be staying out on the racetrack along with Colby Wells. Those are the only two drivers that will stay out on the racetrack. Everybody else is hitting pit road. Peterson leads them in. Will it be splash and go or tires? And it is so far splash and go for everybody up in this field. I believe there is one car taking tires though in the background, and there is Adam Schramm. Sorry, Ryan Dingler going to be taking a bit of tires in the background. Oh, I checked that he might be actually fixing damage, as is a good chunk of the rest of your field here as we come off of pit road. Going to try to get a better look back on how this one transpired with Ryan Dingler, kind of the big catalyst in this one here. This is going to be coming around the back straightaway off turn number 2. I wonder if he had any help getting up into the wall, but he's single file right now, so I'm assuming this happened all by his lonesome. You're going to see right here, it's going to connect with the outside wall, and that's going to fire him down into the path of Dave Gage, who's going to get hooked. And around goes everybody else, and Musadi almost had that thing. Missed Purcell. Had to kind of scramble from the bottom side. You're going to see Zachary Kreischer here just push up and glance off the outside wall. Dave Gage going to remain. Actually, I think he will be a lap down here from the number 404. So Gage not having the best of runs here so far, as he's going to go. I think he actually might still just be on the lead lap, but it'll be Michael Kenner and Colby Wells to stay out. Now, nobody took tires except for drivers that were collecting the mess behind, but the big story is they might not have enough fuel to make it to lap 45 when our scheduled stage break is. Going to come around through turn numbers 3 and 4. The 98 and the 45 going to be in control of the top two lines. Pace cars again going to pull down and into pit road. And Michael Kenner going to take us back down to the green flag. We're back underway. Kenner leads the first lap back to green as we rocket it back down the front straightaway in towards turn numbers 1 and 2 on lap number 19. Oh, LaValle onto the apron, washing up the hill, gets into Jacob Noyes as we come around turn numbers 1 and 2. Gotta be careful with those pushes up from the inside line. So easy for these guys to encounter trouble by clipping the apron and washing up the track. So far, a good footing that these drivers have as we're going to take it down off at turn number 4. And Kenner will continue to hang on to the race lead. No tire advantage that anybody's going to have so far in this race, which is going to be of some slight consolation for Kenner and Wells. But they are going to have to always be worried about that fuel number from here on out until the end of this stage here. Oh, hello, one car way down low in the background. Stefan Purcell encountering issues as he's going to come off of turn number 2 and struggling. Something fierce for the number 57 car, going to get himself sorted and not sure what the cause of this one is here. We'll ride on board the Purcell, and that, to me, has the hallmarks of a blacked out screen right there. The way it was kind of seesawing at the wheel, just trying to get himself sorted. So Purcell having some sort of hardware failure, I reckon, for a brief moment, which will put it down to the tail of the field. Did a good job, though, to keep the car more or less unscathed. And we'll keep this race green as we'll continue to log laps away. Oh, Dingler getting in the shift light up the racetrack, keeps it off the wall. Morton scrambles down low and will, again, just barely manage to keep this race in the green. Talk about drivers that have been impressive so far. How about the likes of Logan Hamilton trying to get up and around, trying to keep Todd Cray at bay. Cray's going to go to the inside line and push up the track. Got Ryan Dingler's number 2 car tucked in the midst there as well. This is all the fight for 5th place on back. Is Craig going to continue to work that low line? So far, the outside has just not been able to have a whole lot of speed tonight. Story's been on the inside line. How about that? Pole sitter Grant Peterson slamming the door shut on Spencer Ray. This is going to be one giant battle here now for 5th place on back. Cray looks at the inside of Spencer Ray and will continue to... Oh, there we go! Spencer Ray going around. This is going to be the big one right here as drivers come flying into the mess and not quite wanted to kick this race off as we've got the huge one on lap number 25. Michael Kenner picks up the race lead still. And we will go to the replay, and we'll start this one by going aerial here and showing what the heck happened back here as this all stemmed from Spencer Ray being turned by Todd Cray right there in the middle of the pack. That sent Cray around, and from there, it is just a hornet's nest as pretty much everybody, yeah, literally everyone got into this, including drivers further up the road. I don't think there was one car that managed to make it out of that wreck completely unscathed. There's Spencer Ray. Cray pushes up, gets into the 21, and around he goes, and hard hits into the wall, and it's not quite done either as again Cray comes down, gets into Dingler and more. That's just a messy situation all around. On board with Cray. Clips the apron, pushes up, gets into Spencer Ray. He gets turned up into the outside wall, and again, just mayhem from there. Tried to come to pit road, didn't realize Dingler was up his inside, and man, poor Ryan Dingler, he was just the punching bag throughout the midst of all of this as we'll ride on board with the number 2 car. Got spun around, and I think you think he's safe first, but then he's just trying to get going. Craig comes down the racetrack, and he just gets punched around again. Well, Michael Kenner the race leader, as the lights remain on aboard the Irish safety car. Over half the field collected in a major wreck on lap number 26 of 134. We will take a step back, and we'll be back with more from the Boom Confetti 200 and the OMSRL Xfinity Series in just a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Lights out aboard the Irish safety car. We got set to go green flag racing this time by Michael Kenner, still your control car with Colby Wells up top. Drivers that came down at this caution period to get damage repaired include the likes of DeWalt, Ray, Shiflett, Cray, Noyes, Kreiser, Gage, Morton, and more. Ryan Dingler sits now out of this race with a blown motor. 10th on up, still with relatively clean race cars, and we'll see if those cars will continue to stay clean as Michael Kenner in the IK9 Supra, driving for Kenner Baker Racing, will start to the inside of the Asheville Rooftop Bar Tours TI Racing Chevrolet of Colby Wells. Will come off of turn number 4 this time by and gets set to go back to green flag racing here at Charlotte. Rocketing down the back straightaway here as Matt LaValle and Robert Peterson going to remain in lockstep with one another. LaValle taking it down to the inside line here as we run it down off of turn numbers 3 and 4 to the front straightaway. Hamilton and Peterson side by side as Hamilton continued to duke out with Lusati, and LaValle also in a battle right behind. "16 laps go this time through in stage number 1 here tonight. Nate Brody coming to pit road. Potential restart penalty for the number 1 car as it's going to fall apart for the number 1 car. He'll come down pit road this time by. And we'll jump back to the race leaders. And in fact, Brody, maybe a bit more, as he's going to be down at pit road proper with a stop and hold. All the fighting going on in the second half of the field here with Kaiser, Ray, and Moore. Stuck in a side-by-side battle. A lot of quick repairs used in the early runs here. So drivers hoping this race can stay green so they don't have to risk coming on in again. Brody going to leave pit road as Colby Wells makes the move for the race lead to the inside. Entering turn number 3, no room. He'll have to tuck it back in as drivers continue to scramble for positions in behind with Lyons up on the top shelf, trying to get up and around Logan Hamilton. Colby Wells and Kenner now going to continue to scrap it out for the race lead. Or trying to go side by side. Wells trying to find some momentum up on the bottom end, and he does manage to pull in a significant amount coming off of turn number 4. And this time he is going to be alongside, so Colby Wells going for the race lead down to turn 1. And Wells just going to get through, and he has. So Wells through to the race lead. Kenner going to fall back to second. Peterson and Shivlet going to exchange hands for third and fourth as Shivlet pushes up to the final podium position. We'll check back in on the rest of your main battle pack here as we come down off of turn number 4 across the quad oval at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kenner now starting to potentially lose more time as now Shivlet's looking for the bottom. I think Kenner's burned all his rubber up, just trying to keep it out of trouble. And now Shivlet's going to try to go 2 for 2 as he's going to look for the inside of Colby Wells entering the quad oval. 11 to go, and Shivlet becomes our 4th different race leader of the night. Kenner and Wells continue locked in a side-by-side fight for second. Wells up top, Kenner down low, but Kenner no momentum anymore on the inside line. Tires are gone. On the KBR Supra, he'll start to drop back down the order. We'll check again in on the packs further down. This is Ray, Lyons, Morton, and Noyes. All under a blanket. Oh, Spencer Ray almost getting into the door of Lucas Lyons. Is going to make the pass for 11th down to turn 3. And just able to breach clear. How's this now? You got Creighton Peterson starting to enter the fray here for the spots inside the top 3. As Sean Kaiser rips the top shelf. Coming on down off of turn numbers 1 and 2. Into 3 and 4. Cray now trying to migrate up to the top line, see if he's got any kind of speed in the number 21 car. But so far, there hasn't been an exact abundance of room for that number 21 machine. Overall, looking to be smooth sailing, though, as we'll cycle our way through. Michael Kenner trying to regain time. He'll lunge for the inside of Colby Wells. Try to make a move down in turn numbers 3 and 4, but look at that. He just checks up so hard on the inside line to avoid pushing up and wide up the racetrack. This is a very abrasive track, it seems, out here tonight, and take a look at the weather, and I mean, it's fairly optimal track conditions, all things considered. Only 80 degrees Fahrenheit on the racing surface compared to 76 in the air. The wind's blowing at about 6 miles an hour. I believe it's going to be off due west. So could be better, could be worse, depending on what your kind of tone is when it comes to wind speeds. Kenner and Peterson, though, wind or not, they're going to continue to scrap it out for that final spot inside the top 5. Kenner trying to hang on to whatever points he can at this point in time. Here you see Zachary Kreischer think about a move to the inside as you jump down low off of turn 2 to try to make a move. He'll get up around Michael Kenner. Now Peterson getting tied off the bottom. Here comes Kreischer, open up the door, and the 19 M&M's machine going to go through. Peterson gets hit. He's up into the outside wall, and that is destroying Grant Peterson's number 52 car, as he's going to be scrambling now to try to see if he can't get any kind of speed back and charge after Michael Kenner. Behind, Musati, Peterson, DeWalt also in lockstep as we get set to come to 4 to go. Todd Gray jumping off the racetrack for a bonus. He cuts the quad oval. While deeper in the pack, you've still got drivers looking to make some strong moves in the closing stages here of stage number 1. DeWalt's still stuck on that outside line, but that might be where he wants to be as Peterson again having to check it up from the low end. Bear Morton gonna try to follow through. 3 laps remain. As time starting to run out for all your drivers inside the top 10 here to make whatever kind of moves they can get. Musati jumps to the low side. Peterson working up top. DeWalt comes flying in and nearly takes out the 49 car. 2 laps to go. Now it's Peterson to try to make a move from the bottom. Calamity over here so far in the closing stages, or laps of stage 1. Will come to 1 lap to go this time through. Thought we'd go 3 wide for a moment as Bear Morton looked to the inside, put Robert Peterson up on the top shelf. Started the final trip around. As, oh boy, what a fight we've had so far for the closing positions. For stage number 1 in the top 10, the point scoring spots, every point matters when it comes down to it. Nathan Shiflett comes off of turn number 4. He will pick up the stage 1 win. DeWalt clears Musati for 7th. As behind, Judge's going to come across the line, and Kenner's hitting pit road. Michael Kenner making a bold call. He'll sacrifice stage points and come to pit road as the caution flies. Drama at the end of stage 1 as Michael Kenner going to hit pit road. Nathan Shiflett, your stage 1 winner. We'll be back in a few as we are under our competition caution. You're watching the OMSRL Xfinity Series live on Green Flag TV.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel.
Pit stops underway under the stage break. Nate Brody has just taken the Lucky Dog free pass, unsurprisingly on that note, as Michael Kenner believed going to be able to potentially pick up the race lead unless he did not get out before the iRacing safety car did. It was Nathan Shiflett to lead them down onto pit road. We'll have to wait and see if he'll be the one to lead them off. And in fact, it will be. So Shiflett, first in, first out. Off of pit road. We'll dial up your stage 1 winner here in just a moment as we'll try to get ourselves sorted and put everything into perspective. And now we'll see if we can't get a hold of the stage 1 winner here at the course of the night. Nathan, this is Noah Rebel up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you take the stage 1 win in handsome fashion by over 2 seconds. What's going to be the strategy then as we get set to go racing for the last 90 or so laps?
Well, since I got in that caution and got regs, I'm going to have to hope it goes green the rest of the way because I only got one set of tires left. So that's why I was able to beat them so bad because I just took some freshies right there. So I'm stuck, man. I'm going to need it to go green the rest of the way.
Kenner came down, coming over to the end of the stage there, literally second where the caution flag came out. He's lost a lap as a result of that one. What do you think of that? Is that a strategy gone wrong, or was that a running out of fuel situation? Was it close?
I think he ran out of fuel, to be honest with you.
Well, fair enough on that deal. We'll let you get back to work down there. Good luck out there, that number 15 for B&D.
Thank you.
That was Nathan Shiflett, excuse me, driving for the B&D Racing crew, still under our Stage 1 yellow flag. And in fact, now that we have a brief moment here, we can potentially talk to the driver of the number 98 car here. And I'm going to retract that statement. We will not get the chance to talk to Michael Kenner as he is not open for comment on that situation, so that is unfortunate to say the least. But I think, yeah, running out of fuel sounds a bit more viable considering he lost a lap as a result. Interestingly enough, though, I don't think Nate Brody got back onto the lead lap either. Potentially did. We'll have to wait and see on that deal. Go to the likes of some of the drivers a bit further down to the field. How about we check in with the likes of Stefan Purcell here in the number 57 car. Stefan, this is Noel Rebel here in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, it was, shall we say, an interesting way to conclude the stage there. We had that major wreck that we saw over half the field get involved in. What was your perspective of that first stage so far for you out here tonight?
It wasn't that bad. I almost got run over by the 49 car in the back, or like lap 7, but it was pretty smooth. My screen almost blanked out on me for a little bit. That's why I had to pull down and bottom, but it came back.
What's going to be the strategy here for the remainder of this race?
I'm expecting at least 2 more cautions.
2 more cautions seems like a fair bet. We'll hold you to that one. We'll let you get back to work. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Stefan Purcell, driver of the number 57 car. Lone wolf so far here in the OMSRL Xfinity Series season. As lights are out aboard the RT safety car, we'll be green flag racing on lap number 51 this time by. Nathan Shiflett going to be your control car here in this one, as we'll get set to once again take it down to the green flag. Coming off of turn number 4 in the hands of the number 15. Green flag back up in the air. The field double file strong as we run down through turn numbers 1 and 2. On to the back straightaway. Musati tucking in line for the number 21 car. As we hightail it down the road into turn numbers 3 and 4. So far, a fairly strong start to the stage, as going to keep things sorted, and we'll manage to log at least 1 green flag lap. Musati and Cray fighting out for third. Sean Kaiser and Nathan Shiflett trying to walk away with first and second place. 1 car slow on the bottom. That's Adam Schraub going to tank down the running order here. As the number 31 car going to fall right back down to 20th spot. Look back what happened to Adam Schraub here. This is coming around into turn number 1 this time by. Oh, and he had to stack it up for Logan Hamilton and then got loose. He kind of scrambled up the racetrack, but again, a good save for the number 31 car to keep that car in contention. Kreischer Musati looking set to duke it out as Kreischer going to move up top. Musati holding on down low. On fresh Goodyears, the inside lane still reigns supreme. It's really when the tires start to wear down that we're going to see that outside line coming in more and more over the course of the night. We continue to log laps on the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Well, let's take in the sights and sounds of Concord, North Carolina, as we get set to enter the second half of tonight's race. One car gets up into the wall as Jacob Noyes tumbles down the timing order right down to the 12th position. A close shave as we continue to scrap it out. Coming to the close of the second half in just a little while, about another, I'd say about 14 laps from now. Craig, Kreischer, Peterson, Wells, all still caught under a blanket here as we run it back around through turn numbers 3 and 4. Overall, it has been a very good drive out here for everybody so far here tonight. You can see Kreischer and Peterson working the top side there as Kreischer on the low side, Peterson up on top, trying to see if he can't maintain some form of momentum. Musati leading the way at the front of this little train with the likes of Cray and Wells tucked right in behind him. Overall, could not have asked for a better way to have a race here tonight. 2 cautions so far for incidents on the day. 1 in the first 15 laps and 1 right around lap 30. Kreischer getting out of shape as we rocket it back down the road in towards turn numbers 3 and 4. Kreischer up on top as Morton trying to find a hole on the inside line. And now Kreischer up into the wall even, so it's going from bad to worse with the M&M's 19 Super. I think he's lost a lot of pace here so far. We look back further in the field where Lucas Lyons getting around Jacob Noyes, and even further back Adam Schramm, Robert Peterson. Stuck in a bit of a side-by-side brawl amongst themselves. Up front, Nathan Shiflett has pulled well clear of the field by just over a second. Just broke that one out over Sean Kaiser. Anthony Musatti trying to pull clear as well with Todd Cray right behind. You see Michael Kenner kind of running the mix there as well. Kenner, of course, one lap down as it stands. Still a very, very tight field. But an exciting one as we run back down to turns 1 and 2. This is how we can expect to see this go up throughout the course of the night. Just a lot of really close racing. As these drivers going to continue to pile around this amazing 1.5 mile oval at America's home for racing. We'll be coming on up to halfway before too long. Let's take a rundown up and down throughout the course of the field so far here tonight. Nathan Shiflett has led from the drop of the green flag on the restart, but now Sean Kaiser starting to reel him in for that race lead from that second position. Anthony Musatti so far has been doing a good job in that third position, final step of the podium. He's gained the most spots out of anybody, plus 15 for the Badger race at number 49 here this afternoon. Todd Cray has been in fourth. He's about to lose one, though, to Peterson as he got loose off of turn 2. Behind them, Spencer Ray picks up 6th place in the Apex Action Supra. Logan Hamilton trying to fend off Bear Morton while help out his teammates right behind of Colby Wells and Nate Brody, all of TI Racing. Under Blank was 7th on back to 10th. DeWalt picks up the 11th spot, first spot outside the top 10. Zach Pryger has gained 8 spots on the day, though he is starting to lose time after he got up into the outside wall. Lucas Lyons sits in 13th place, kind of picking up the second pack here with Jacob Noyes a bit further down the field. Adam Schramm, Dave Gage run 15th and 16th. You see Kyle Munson trying to make a move on the outside, back in the 17th position. He'll try to pick up a spot. Robert Peterson and Stefan Purcell are 18th and 19th with Matt LaValle, the last car in the lead lap, and rounded up the top 20. Michael Kenner is one lap down, the lucky dog driver so far. Ryan Dingler is out of the race after wrecks early on. Kaiser making the move to the inside, a shift left for the race lead as we are 67 down, 67 to go. Halfway home in the Boom Confetti 200, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kaiser to the inside, shift left up top. It's going to be all for naught though, as the All-American Motorsports number 24 car cannot make a run up to the race lead as we run down into turn numbers 1 and 2. Shiflett with the move, up on top. As we run it back down, drag racing it out like it's at the Z-Max Dragway just next door. Down to turn numbers 3 and 4, and Musatti trying to enter the fray, but he's having some internet issues, it would seem. So Musatti struggling with connection problems while Kaiser making a move for the race lead. This is dragging in third on back. We're about to have one heck of a fight for the race lead on our hands. Musatti is there. Give the bumper to the back end of the number 24 car as you're running down to turn numbers 3 and 4. Starting lap number 70. And still locked in side-by-side combat, less than 1/100th of a second. Separated them last time by at the line. Sean Kaiser down low. Here comes Peterson and Musatti trying to go with them now. As once again, side-by-side fight here for the race lead. Shiflett, Kaiser, Musatti, Peterson all under a blanket. Here comes Cray and Moore. going to end one way only, with one of these drivers getting into the wall. Of course, Nathan Shivlin mentioned he's got one set of tires. He's hoping this doesn't end in the caution. Otherwise, he's stuck for the last 60 laps of this race on one set. And that's going to be killer. Buzzati giving the bumper to the back end of the number 15 car. As Sean Kaiser again working the low line. Coming off of turn number 4. Whoa, Musani stepping the back bumper out as we ran it back down to the turn numbers 3 and 4. Coming down onto the back straightaway. This is going to get tight here. Sean Kaiser trying to work with Shiflett on the bottom still. Peterson entering the fray in behind. 2 by 2. Cray, Ray, Hamilton, Morton. All caught under the same blanket. Oh boy, and Anthony Musati having again more issues connection-wise. And this is not boding well for anybody in this field, as he's having trouble just keeping stable. He'll get it sorted now on the outside, but again, you still have Shivlin on the bottom. This is a pack race, much akin to what we see at tracks like Daytona at this point with how many cars we've got in this grouping here. And no one's able to break free. Kaiser's able to get a good run from the inside on the entry, but when it comes to the exit, he's got absolutely nothing for Nathan Shiflett. Logan Hamilton now going to start to try to pick his way up through this field as well, along with Todd Cray. Of course, Cray, one of the rookie drivers entering the series, entering the race tonight. He's made several starts so far. We thought might be a contender for the Rookie of the Year award for the likes of Todd Cray, but just a separate set of point standings where the rookies stand. Of course, for the Rookie of the Season, you still got to keep up there, and he's started to drop back. He sits 41 points behind Clark Gennigan, but Gennigan not making an appearance tonight. Michael DeWalt is, so at the moment it's looking like Todd Cray will easily be able to take the Rookie of the Season standings. And the points lead in that little bout as we get set to leave the race here tonight. Musati making the move for Shiflett now as Kaiser's lost out in second place. Contact, I think, between Shiflett. Musati just got over to the wall, and the caution is out. And now, there it is. Musati wrecking it down to the low side, still trying to hang on. He's going to work it down to the low end, and I think Kenner might have got a piece of that as well. That's a messy, messy situation all around, though, and that's going to be an interesting discussion post-race, as Musati was just all over the shot as they try to get themselves sorted. We will look up and see if we can't maybe dissect a bit of what's happened here. Might be a bit of an ask. You can see Musati got loose off the corner there and then just spun it down low, got into Spencer Ray. And Musati had to crank that thing down low, and boy, oh boy, Michael Kenner having a heck of a time trying to avoid that mess. Good chunkier field, gonna hit pit road this time by. As we are under our second, make that now fourth yellow flag of the night, third one for a caution. So this is crucially going to be Nathan Shiflett's last set of tires, as he mentioned in his stage 1 interview. And he's going to be taking those sets of tires, understandably so. And in fact, I'm not seeing anybody that's opted to take anything less. Oh, except for Sean Kaiser. Kaiser taking 2. And he'll be the driver to win the race off of pit road. So Sean Kaiser's All-American Motorsport going to come out the race leader under this latest yellow flag here tonight, and we'll see if we can get in touch with the driver of the number 24 All-American Motorsports Chevrolet. Sean, this is the Ramble up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, how you doing, Nolan? Gotcha.
Well, it's an interesting strategy for you. 2 tires. Everybody else seemed to take 4. What's the thought process behind that call?
I took none.
Oh, you took no tires. Okay,
No
my
tires.
mistake.
I got in that wreck, the big wreck before the end of the first stage. I had accidentally taken a set of tires, and you know what? I ended up getting stage points out of it. I had to fix my damage, and I took tires. So I'm actually down a set, and I don't think the cautions are done here. So I'm not taking my set. Maybe on the next caution, depending on where it is, I'll take my set of tires. So we'll see what happens.
We're going to have a whole host of drivers that are going to be on about 30 lap fresh tires and you behind. Are you going to try to actually fight to keep them at bay, or is it going to be more a strategy of get out of the way as soon as possible to just kind of let things play out?
I mean, I'm gonna keep it in the gas. I'm not gonna necessarily fight them. I'm gonna, if they want to get around me, they can get around me. I'm not gonna block and fight them or anything like that. But it's a strategy at this point. But like I said, we're just gonna see what happens.
Well, fingers crossed that strategy will end up playing on out for you. You're going to be leading the race. We get set to come take it back to green next time by. Good luck out there in the restart.
I appreciate it, Nolan.
Sean Kaiser, the driver of the All-American Motorsports number 24, leading the way, and the only driver that came down pit road not taking tires on the latest strategy, save for Michael Kenner, who also took fuel only. You're watching the OMSRL Xfinity Series Boom Confetti 200 from Concord, North Carolina. We'll be back in a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the OMSRL Xfinity Series, where we are getting set to go green flag racing on lap number 83. Your pole sitter, Sean Kaiser, if you're just joining us, took no tires, whereas everybody else did. So he's going to be in a bit of a rough way. So we're set to take it back down to the restart this time by. He doesn't think the cautions are done. Frankly, I don't think they're quite done with either. Shiflett, the former race leader, going to start up on the outside line. And we'll get set to get this show back underway at America's home for racing. Pace car going to pull down and in this time by. Watch for the wheel spin for the 24 car. We'll see if he can get that thing sorted without too much problems. But it's going to be hard with an aggressive Hamilton starting up on the top shelf. Green flag back in the air. We are back underway from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Oh, Shiflett bobbling from the middle line as Hamilton going to make the run for the race lead up at the top shelf. Meanwhile, Dave Gage getting into the inside wall in the big way, crashing down the back straightaway. Oh, big trouble as a huge wreck for Jacob Noyes, and we're back under the caution flag. Tremendous impact to the back of the number 34. And Hamilton picks up the race lead. Holy cow, that was a wicked hit. that Jacob Noyes just took. We'll go to the Green Flag TV replay as Schramm got into the wall, sending Noyes down, and he took a whale of a lick to the inside wall. On board with Noyes. Good gravy. That is a massive, massive impact here. And this is again from Michael Kenner. Just nowhere to go. Oh my gosh! What a wicked hit there for Jacob Noyes. We'll look again from Adam Schramm. One of the main instigators of this incident. He got loose off the turn number 4, then got out of shape down low and took arguably just about a harder hit than anybody. Then, of course, Dave Gage as well. And watch, I have to back this one up a bit more for the likes of Dave Gage. Try again, as again, Dave Gage loose off of turn 2. Working to the inside. Got a great save. He had that car fully saved, but then the driver out of Orlando shoots back up the track, and he just doesn't know where to go, and he's going to get into Jacob Noyes in a big way. What a wild ride, though, that Jacob Noyes took, and cannot understate how hard of a lick this is. Watch this. Gets into the wall, then gets kicked up into the air by Michael Kenner. Lands hard before spinning it around, and there goes Gage. Big time up into the outside wall. Gage still sitting down there in pit road as it stands, and I imagine the driver of the 404 going to be none too pleased about this one. We'll try to dial him up in just a second here, and we'll get a talk with the driver of the 404 collected in that major incident. And Dave, this is Nolan Rebel here at the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I do have a copy, sir.
Well, oh boy, what a ride for you. You had that massive save of turn 2. You had it wrecked, only to find yourself with nowhere to go with Jacob Noyes right afterwards. What was that like from your perspective there?
Yeah, I had just taken my fast repair from that earlier wreck. I tried to run it out, and I figured we'd actually get some green laps in here. So I was got my fast repair and got settled in. Almost lost it. Heck of a save. I was all excited, and I saw the guys wreck down to the infield there, and I went all the way to the top of the track figuring I should be able to skirt by without a problem, and then there he was in front of me, and there was no way for me to get to go anywhere. So we had a nice little meeting of the fenders there, and another minute and change of repairs for me, so we'll see what I can do with the car now. It might be junked again.
Well, if it's any consolation, you're probably doing a bit better than Noyes is doing at this point in time. Is the plan going to take a few laps, see what it's like, and kind of formulate a strategy there, or are you just going to try to go out hard and see if you can get whatever spots you can get at this point?
We're gonna find out what the car will do rather quickly here, and if I can stay with the pack, I'll try to hang with them. I'll wait until later to really push it and try, because what I've seen so far, I'm not 100% confident that we're gonna have this green flag to the end here. So I'm gonna try to stay out of everything again and work from there.
Well, let's go back to work down there. Good luck as we come to green.
All right, brother. Thank you.
That was the likes of Dave Gage. Join us up here in the broadcast booth. Logan Hamilton going to be your control car. We will once again try to make it a lap and go to green flag racing here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Hamilton taking the jump as we run down into turn numbers 1 and 2. Keep getting myself confused with that today, and it's a great jump for Logan Hamilton. The field filing out behind him. Sean Kaiser, you can see, losing speed on the inside line due to being collected in that big incident earlier on. He finds himself short one set, so he's going to lose a big chunk of time here while Logan Hamilton and Grant Peterson start to duke it out for the race lead down to turn numbers 1 and 2. Peterson with the bottom, Hamilton up top. Can Peterson find the speed on the low side and make this happen? And he might just. Grant Peterson finally retakes the race lead. Started on pole, fell outside the top 10, rebounds back, and now Peterson leads the way down in turn numbers 1 and 2 on lap number 89. Whoa, and hello. Cars coming off the wall and off the apron and all over the place, a bit deeper in the pack as, again, Kaiser checking up a good bunch of drivers, including Kenner, who, by the way, is back up onto the lead lap now after he got the lucky dog. And now finds himself fighting for a top 10 spot. Imagine some of these drivers not terribly pleased that Sean Kaiser is not just moving aside and letting them on through, but he is under no obligation to do so, no matter how old his tires are. Meanwhile, Munson and Kenner are going to go side by side with Nate Brody right tucked in line. Three-way fight for 8th through the quad oval. Oh, Munson collecting the apron a bit further down the pack. Just able to get himself sorted as Bear Morton going to go after him now down to turn 1. Munson, though, hanging firm. Nathan Shiflett under fire by Spencer Ray. Ray's going to put himself up now onto the podium. And the Apex Action Supra starting to gradually drive away with the 3rd position. Hamilton and Peterson still single file up front for the top 2, while Wells and DeWalt going to go for 5th. So far, it has been a very, very entertaining race, I think, is the proper turn of phrase for a race like this. As credit to Dave Gage being delighted in that major incident, he's making strides. He's up to 16th spot or 15th spot now. So Gage on the move, about as much on the move as he can be at the moment at the 404. He'll continue to work it though, and just go after and get what he can get. Oh, Kenner going to give a bit of a door there, showing the door to Todd Cray. So Kenner still being aggressive as well, as we'll run it down the back straightaway. Todd Cray falling in line for 8th. Still got Brody, Munson, and Morton, one after the other in line for 9th, 10th, and 11th. And can we see a move here for 2nd as Spencer Ray trying to apply the pressure to Logan Hamilton, and Hamilton going to squeeze him down right into the quad oval grass, or the AstroTurf down there. Ray's not going to be intimidated, though. He's going to continue to fight it out with Logan Hamilton here as we'll run it down to the back straightaway. Side by side, Ray pushing up the track. Hamilton's got it tucked in back in line. Wells, Shiflett, and Moore going to be in lockstep right behind. And there it is, Ray finally making the move on Logan Hamilton as they run down through turn numbers 1 and 2. Hamilton, though, trying to see if he can try to fight back, and he'll make a peek. Will not commit, though, for the inside line. It happened entering turn 1, and Spencer Ray just threw it in deeper, and Hamilton gave too much room to work with. While Cannon continues his drive up to the field, he's now broken up into the top 5. What a way to come for Michael Cannon after he went a lap down earlier. After running out of fuel, coming to the end of the opening stage of the night, and now he gets to take it around and break up into the top 5. Oh, Brody getting real close to the back end of Munson as Munson got tied and washed up the hill. You see Baron Morton trying to find an opening as well in the fray. Down to turn numbers 1 and 2. Morton picks up 10 that will secure. Meanwhile, Kenner looking to take one more car off his list, throwing the IK9 Super to the inside of Colby Wells. Kenner on an absolute charge, almost up to where he started this race in 3rd earlier tonight. Fell as far as 21st. Was the only driver lap down at a point. He got the lucky dog, got back to the lead lap, and has gradually picked these guys off one by one, and now a real threat for a podium finish. We'll continue to work our way as we enter the final 34 laps from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Pit stops underway. Green flag stops at that. Lyons, Cray, Gage, and Kaiser have all come down to pit road. All of them taking 4 tires and fuel. Grant Peterson continues to lead the way from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. While it looks like we're going to be getting more and more drivers making the run to pit road. Spencer Ray and Michael Kenner both been closing in on Peterson for a while for the race lead, and now Kenner looks to the inside to try to pick up 2nd place from the Apex Action All-American Motorsports Supra. Kenner going to get clear and run that second place out as Grant Peterson going to maintain the race lead. Some drivers opted to come down a bit earlier, I imagine. Looks like they were just wanted to kind of pit a bit earlier and make sure they could have enough fuel to make it to the end of this race. Check back in on Kyle Munson and Baron Morton in their fight for 8th and 9th place as we kind of took a look around the field a little bit under that latest commercial break. Peterson, meanwhile, under 5 for the race lead. Here comes Michael Kenner, looking to make the move around the outside line. Peterson trying to fend him off from the bottom. And Kenner, with the drive up top, takes the race lead away, and now Kenner leads the way once again to the Boom Confetti 200. Adam Schramm is in pit road, while Michael Kenner hightails it now. Coming around turn numbers 1 and 2. Wells, Hamilton, DeWalt, all in for service as well. So this is where pit road starts to get busy. Kenner maintains the lead coming around turn numbers 3 and 4. Is he going to hit pit road, though, this time by? Your top 2 staying out. Spencer Ray making a call to come down. And he is not the only one, as here comes Baron Morton, Kyle Munson, and more. Stefan Vercel staying out. This will be our last round of scheduled pit stops before the end of this race. Anything after this, and it would be an unprompted stop for something going awry. Michael Kenner hits pit road. On the track map, you can see Michael Kenner compared to the likes of Grant Peterson. If we change that over, though, to focus up on where Spencer Ray is at on the racetrack. Spencer Ray, of course, was fighting out for the race lead here, and now Spencer Ray coming around through turn numbers 3 and 4, looking set to try to inherit the net race lead. Kenner, though, is out of pit road. They still get a bit tight here on exit of turn 2, though, as here comes Cole Wells to blitz around him, and now Spencer Ray off of turn number 2. Will not get up and around Michael Kenner. Jacob Noyes in a fight with Nate Brody here. Both these drivers have yet to make stops. So far, every driver from 7th on up has not yet come down. Todd Cray, though, is just broken around, I believe. 34 car, and Grant Peterson going to do the same. So Todd Cray, actually the net race leader as things stand for lap 114, but here comes Colby Wells. And Wells is going to look to try to fight this one out with the fresher rubber, and he's going to go to the inside. Wells takes up the net race lead down to turn 1. Bit further back, Peterson and Lyons are now in a side-by-side fight. Peterson clears him. Lucas Lyons stopped about 7 laps prior, so fresher tire supremacy right there as Spencer Ray again getting around Todd Cray. It looks like Cray came down a bit early, as now he was losing a lot of time to drivers that are only on about 10 lap fresher tires. Meanwhile, Jacob Noyes hits pit road, and he will likely potentially go down a lap as a result. Still waiting to see when Shiflett, Brody, Peterson, Purcell, and more are going to be making their trips down to pit lane. Those are the only drivers at this point that we have yet to see make stops. See Nate Brody and Robert Peterson in a nose-tail 5-4 on track P2, but it's going to cycle out to be well down the field by the time the pit cycle goes through. Peterson going up top, trying to find a run around the outside of Brody. There was no room, though. He'll have to tuck it back in line. Looking low this time, though, off of turn 2 to the back straightaway and in for 3. And this time, Robert Peterson goes through and he will pick up the on-track second position. With less than 20 laps to go, these guys still have yet to make their stops. Todd Craig continuing to tumble down the timing order. Ray, Hamilton, Kenner, all in a nose-to-tail line. Logan Hamilton trying to play rear gun to support for his teammate Colby Wells. The net race leader again forcing Ray into the AstroTurf. That's the second time Hamilton's done that so far tonight. You got to be careful with doing that. Sooner or later, a driver's going to have enough, and he's going to just clean you out. There you see race leader Colby Wells just up the road. I should say net race leader. Currently 6th place overall, just got by Matt LaValle. LaValle himself is yet to make a pit stop, so he's for sure going down a lap. And there it is, Nate Brody. Whoa, hello! Having to work it way down as he will make the call to come to pit road first. That, at this point, leaves Shiflett, Peterson, Purcell, and Kreischer that have yet to make stops as well, as Nate Brody will come on down and into pit road. Now that Spencer Ray, though, is clear from Colby Wells, you have to wonder, is this battle going to shake on up any further? This is the gap at the moment between the two of them. You can tell Spencer Ray is closing up in a pretty big way. We'll compare the lap times again, this time by at the line, as Wells crosses over to lap number 120. And actually, Ray about 9,000 of a second slower. But look at how much he closed in about the 5 laps prior. Good, what, half a second there? As meanwhile, more drivers down in the pit road. Robert Peterson in for service with 13 laps remaining. It is all eyes, though, on the 6 and the 45. The drivers in combat for the net race lead. A bit further down the order, LaValle moving up high, letting Baron Morton through. Todd Gray doing the same with Kyle Munson. Jacob Noyes, Adam Schramm, ultimate fight of their own. They're both 1 lap down. Spencer Ray has been caught by Michael Kenner. Meanwhile, this is going to give some advantage up to Colby Wells. Now, if I'm Michael Kenner, at this point, the two of you can close him in. Give him some bumps down the back straightaway. Oh, Ray's going to block! Kenner way down the racetrack! Kenner forcing the door open down on the inside line as Spencer Ray blocks. This is disaster for their bid to try to go for the race lead. And they're going to remain side by side into the quad oval. Coming down into turn numbers 1 and 2. And Wells starting to walk away. Nathan Shiflett, the race leader, is into the pit lane. While here comes Kenner and Wells coming off of turn number 4. Michael Kenner's broken clear. What does he have now? for Colby Wells. Zachary Kreischer going down a spot on the actual racetrack as Wells now one away from picking up the race lead from Stefan Purcell. As Kenner breaks clear, this time by the line, we will once again compare the lap times as Purcell going to hit pit road. And that puts now Kenner officially, or Wells, excuse me, officially back up and into the race lead. There's the gap between Kenner and Wells, and how about that? Over half a second, make that about 3/4 of a second gain between Wells and Kenner in the last 5 laps. From 1.3 down to 0.3 of a second, that's over a second in the course of just a lap or two. And now, Kenner wants to make the move for the race lead. To the outside! Michael Kenner making the charge. Wells pushing up from the bottom. Can't fight him off. Michael Kenner pushes around the top shelf. And will look to pick up the lead in 3 and 4, but he doesn't have it yet. We have under 10 laps remaining. And Wells still holding strong. But he won't be able to fight it out forever. Kenner pulling from the top shelf. And the IK9 Supra officially retakes the race lead. But isn't maybe not for long as Wells back to the inside. This time finally secures it down the back straightaway. Kreischer and LaValle both hit pit road, the last 2 drivers to do so. While Graham Peterson and Logan Hamilton are looking set to scrap it out for 4th. Peterson will pick up the number 4 spot. How about Munson and DeWalt? 6th and 7th. Warren's going to wash up the track as he sends it into turn 4, and now DeWalt trying to push up to the back bumper. 5 to go. Nathan Shiflett having to, it looked like he had to work it a little bit, coming on down off turn number 2. Get a look at the replay here. Shiflett, oh, just slowed from the bottom lane, and Brody gonna put it 3 wide to get around the both of them. Oh boy, here comes Purcell, head of steam. Gotta be careful not to run over the lead lap cars here though. Munson and DeWalt side by side with Purcell trying to get through by the both of them. Adam Schramm and Robert Peterson exchanging hands for 14th down the back straightaway. Michael Kenner, though, meanwhile, coming onto the back straightaway with only 2.5 laps to go. And he is going to look set to take 2 to go this time by. Kenner has had a very up and down night throughout the duration of your event proceedings here for the Boom Confetti 200. He started this race in 3rd position, and from there it looked like it was going to go downhill. He was involved in the big one early on, found himself dropping down to being 1 lap down, got the lucky dog, got back onto the lead lap, clawed his way back up painfully onto the lead lap, and he fought his way up and took the race lead. Now he'll come around 3 and 4. And for Michael Kenner, it'll be a race win at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Behind the drag race for third to the line, 3 thousandths of a second. Grant Peterson picks it up over Spencer Ray. The drive off for Spencer Ray was not enough as Grant Peterson picks up the third position right at the line by just 3 1/1000ths of a second. Ray tried to pin him down off of turn number 4, but nothing could beat Grant Peterson as he just barely ekes out the final podium position from the number 6. And Michael Kenner will burn it down on the front straightaway after an absolutely incredible set of results. What a drive that he has had here tonight as we'll take a look at your official post-race results as we get set to leave Concord, North Carolina, where Michael Kenner picks up the race win over Colby Wells. Grant Peterson holds third with Spencer Ray in fourth. Logan Hamilton going to be in fifth place with Barry Morton in sixth. Kyle Munson was seventh. Michael DeWall was eighth. Todd Crane ninth. Jacob Noyes rounds out the top 10. Lucas Lyon's going to be back in 11th place with Sean Kaiser in 12th. Nate Brody picks up 13th with Adam Schramm in 15th, and Robert Peterson in 14th. Nathan Schiffler was 16th, and Dave Gage, final driver on the lead lap, down to 17th place. Steph Russell, the first driver, lap down in 18th, with the likes of Kreiser in 19th, LaValle in 20th, Busatti 21st. Ryan Dingler rounded out the field here tonight from the 22nd position. What a race that we have had so far here tonight, and I think this is about as good of a race as we possibly could have had here tonight, and my goodness, just what a race, what a show that these guys have been able to put on for us here in this one. And again, you cannot ask for a better race than what we have just seen here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll talk to all of your podium drivers here, and we will start it off from the top, and we will gradually work our way down, and not seeing Michael Kenner available for a discussion. Right on cue. Here is your race winner here tonight. Now, Michael Kenner, what a drive it was for you as you had an up and down night. You got wrecked early on, went a lap down, got the lucky dog, and slowly fought through the field. You take a race win. After so much struggles early on, this has got to feel good for you here.
Yes, especially after last week. I mean, I thought I had it in the bag, and then on the back straightaway coming into 3, we had a yellow. I was praying that didn't happen tonight, but I can't believe I was able to come out on top after, I mean, it was an eventful night. Everything that could have went wrong seemed like it went wrong, but somehow I got back on the lead lap. Unfortunately, I was involved in the yellow that got me to fresh tires, but I had like a lap fresher tires and everyone. I don't think that really helped that much, but I was able to drive up to like P2, P3, and then everyone just seemed to kill their stuff. I don't know. If it ended in daytime, I think it was easily going to be Colby's win, but something about the night just helped me save tires so much better, and I was just so good on the long run. So I think that definitely helped play a factor into getting this win. But yeah, it definitely feels good after the last 2 weeks.
When you look down to what it was like over at the early portions of this race, what was kind of the mindset as you found yourself going that lap down, especially when you ran out of fuel coming to the end of stage number 1 there?
Oh, I was kind of in shock because normally you're like 5 laps to get on fuel. I wasn't really sweating it. I thought we were easily going to be good, and I still normally just save to be cautious, but I ran out and I was definitely in shock, and I thought the night was over. But luckily, I was the only one a lap down, and I was able to fight my way back on the lead lap. Yeah, I definitely thought the night was over after going a lap down. Didn't think this was an outcome at all.
So after the strife early on, you taking this race late, this is going to help you significantly in the championship standings to get up from the bubble spot where you were sitting just above entering the race tonight. But of course, it is Iowa coming up next week, another a night race for the High Rock 140. What's going to be the reaction as we get set to go back to short track racing?
Last year I think I should have won that one, so hopefully I can go get it this year. I went and got this one this year when I should have won it last year, or I had pace to win it. Last year Colby stole that one away, I believe. So hopefully this time I could steal one away from him. That'd feel nice.
And thank you again for joining us up here tonight, Michael. Congratulations on a hard-earned race win. I have to say, this is one I think to be proud of. This is one to remember for the time coming on over into the future. Good luck out there then on the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, thank you.
As the Kenner Baker Racing driver out of Howell, New Jersey, as we'll move on down to Colby Wells picking it up here in second place, the runner-up spot, but by so little over here, Colby, as you found yourself being passed with less than 10 laps to go by a driver that just had just the slightest bit of fresher tires than you did.
Yeah, I was I was holding on for dear life there at the end. He had about a lap on me, and he was so good all night. I felt like it was either a race with me and him, and he deserved it. We put on a good show tonight. It was a great race, and yeah, he deserved it. He ran in this race perfect, come back a lap down, and he did a fantastic job.
You obviously were able to avoid, for the most part, a good chunk of the early race melee, especially the two massive wrecks that we had at the start of this race, where we thought potentially half the field might be eliminated had it not been for the faster pairs. What was the reaction as we saw those big wrecks early on? Was it kind of a worry that it might carry on over the second half, or was it one where you were kind of confident you were going to be able to still come out with a good finishing position?
Yeah, typically this it's been an awful season, but all these races I'll run up front, lead a good chunk of laps, and we'll get that yellow, and it's just downhill from there. So I was just trying to stay patient and keep calm and just run the race out, and it worked out for me tonight. I'm happy with the run. We didn't win; we were super close, but we needed to string something together here, and we did it tonight.
You entered this race 18th place in the points and a fair bit behind the bubble spot where Kyle Munson sat entering tonight, but obviously the second place is going to help you significantly. You mentioned it has been a season to forget so far, but still have quite a few races left before the end of the regular series season. Do you think there's still a chance you can break up into the top 10 by the season's end?
Yeah, I've got no doubt. We're heading to Iowa next week, and I got that win last season, and after Iowa last season, I kind of just downspired and snowballed and got the championship. So now it's my type of year to turn it on. I'm going to pull a 2011 Tony Stewart, and we'll go and get us a ship.
Good words right there. Pull the 2011 Tony Stewart. If ever there was a good analogy to put, I think that would be it right there. Thanks for joining us up here tonight, Colby. Congratulations on the second place. Hopefully it'll be one better at Iowa, and you'll go back-to-back wins at the short tracks.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I just got to thank Asheville Rooftop Bar Tours and Dale Pools, RD Designs, TI Racing, Chris Lewis. Thankful for my teammates. We finally had a good run tonight after Logan winning 2 in a row. So hopefully we can keep going from there. And thank you for the broadcast.
It is a slew of podiums for TI Racing as Colby Wells going to depart here tonight from second place. That moves us on down to the third and final driver. It is former pole sitter Grant Peterson. Grant, you overall had a fairly good race, but I think the car out of Altoona over there just it didn't seem like it had the long run pace to match that of Colby Wells and Michael Kenner.
No, it really didn't. I was pushing it too hard there in the early beginnings of the run, but trying to get all I can get, stretch out a lead, but wasn't enough there at the end. Yeah.
Overall, it's a very, very different race compared to what we usually see. It was more of a marathon as opposed to a sprint here today. It's not a race that we usually see of this length, longest race of the season. Do you think that at all changed the mindset of both yourself and the other drivers throughout this field tonight?
No, I don't really think so. I think we all just really came here to race. I don't really know if anybody knew it was the longest race of the season. I just found out now. But yeah, everyone kind of ran their own race and a few cautions here and there. Nothing really to write home about there. Everything was kind of strung out and fun. I really like that we had that green flag run there at the end. Really brought the driver's talent into play, and obviously saw it with a bunch of the fast guys running up front.
And want to talk a bit about how this track came in over the course of this race. The inside lanes seemed to be the place to be. The outside could not get established. But once you got about 20, 30 laps deep into a run, that's when that outside lane came into play big time. Was that all tire wear? Or was that as that outside lane got more rubbered in as the runs went along?
I think it was a little bit of both. I never really jumped up there. I was more of a bottom line all the way throughout the run. I did see a couple guys run up top. But yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, just making sure you have enough tire wear or tire left to run that top side. That's really the most important thing. And yeah, track rubbering in, that does help out quite a bit. But I think that bottom line was the preferred line throughout the whole race.
Well, thank you for joining us up here tonight, and hopefully you'll be able to go a couple of spots better over at Iowa next week. I believe it'll be home turf then for you over there, so hopefully we'll see a good run from the Badger Racing crew out there as well.
That's the plan. This track is only 45 minutes away from me, and I always run good there.
That was Grant Peterson joining us up here from the third spot on the podium, and that's going to be a wrap then for our driver interviews here tonight, and that's going to be a wrap for our show as a whole. And again, what a way that we had, what a race that we had here tonight. This was by far one of the most exciting races we had all season long, but it's going to get even tighter as we get set to go racing for the short track that races like a speedway. It is Iowa for the High Rock 140 coming on up next week, same time, same place. Be sure to check out the VRX Pimax World Cup over this Saturday where we get set to go racing at the Michigan International Speedway for a 50-lap affair. And of course, be sure to tune in tomorrow at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to watch the conclusion of the International Formula 4 Championship, where we've got two drivers entering the season finale of the Autodromo Nacional Monza, 2 points separated with the likes of Will Parrish and Eric Monaco. For now, though, from Concord, North Carolina, my name is Little Rampo. Thank you for joining us up here for more racing action here tonight from America's home for racing. We'll see you all next time when we're swinging down to the Prairie State at Iowa.